There is another matter that must be resolved as soon as possible, concerning the Hyperion Reticulum. We studied the data you brought back from the crashed satellite, and we now have a way to reorient the satellites en masse from a protectorate installation, Auris Listening Post. Turning the entirety of the reticulum toward deep space will accelerate our understanding of the universe, and ideally lead us to stronger conclusions regarding how to stop the rifts. You sound like Laureate Craft. Our artificer Laureate believes dedicating some of the satellites to surveillance could address immediate security concerns. The distinction between the Order and the Protectorate is already blurry for many Arcadians, without us adopting tactics that could be perceived as too extreme. Then I look forward to hearing your next report. May your actions further the plan.
Let's pinpoint what you and I can accomplish for the Order. Yes, as I mentioned to her, I understand we intend to reorient the web for scientific purposes alone. But we can still do that and aid our war effort. There are a multitude of satellites. Most, almost all, can be used to collect information on the equation. But just a few turned within Arcadia will help us in the near future. The Order thrives on information. The more we have, the more effectively we can lead. This has been proven scientifically to be true. I scarcely take time to engage in idle conversation, but perhaps this will be illuminating in some fashion. Who told you about that? Were there an experiment being conducted here involving any kind of medicament? Confirming its existence would compromise it. The theoretical existence or non-existence of Order experiments are strictly within the Order's purview. It doesn't concern you. It's not nefarious. It's a waste of time. But fine, you've made your point. We are standing in the experiment. Laplace's garden was built as a scholar's utopia, with this drug perspective as its regulating reagent. This was supposedly to aid us in deciphering the equation. One would think that an organization at active war would have more pressing responsibilities than a scholar's paradise. But surely, I'm only a pessimist. I have nothing but respect for Ruth. Without her guidance, the Order may never have found the strength to dissolve its protectorate bonds. If I had to dig for the smallest critique, I'd note that she shoulders too much. If she collapses beneath the strain, the Order will be rudderless. This we cannot afford. Specifically, a phlogistinated firearm, capable of tunneling through reinforced armor. Broadly, weaponry, research, anything capable of giving our exemplars an edge. Great. I was just thinking, I'd love for a stranger to come along and patronize me so I could blindly hand them experimental Order technology. I generally prefer to keep discussions relevant.
Stop there. Auris Listening Post is not open to... No. It can't be. You again? Sovereign's mercies. I thought for certain you'd been killed when the relay launched. How are you alive? Here! Please, not so loud. The automechanicals could be listening. And here I thought myself in the clear once I had successfully evacuated the relay station. Your faults will always find you out. My mother used to say that. After narrowly escaping the station, I was brought before High Command to be praised for my heroism in the face of an attack on the station, and the murder of my superior. It was good that you disregarded my request to notify them of my intentions. Things would have gone badly for me if they'd learned the truth. But there was no chance of that. The ones who knew were afraid they'd been next on Montelli's list. They gladly supported my actions. Not that they could or would have contradicted the surviving ranking officer. I would sooner walk myself out the nearest airlock. When I help you, subjects, friends die. And I fail my duty to the Protectorate further. No, I know. I'm well aware of the pain you can inflict. It would be pure vanity for me to try and stop you, and I lack even the pretense of that these days. If any of my friends were still alive, they would undoubtedly find my capitulation very upsetting. Though my inevitable execution for treason, less so. I'll open a path for you to progress. I ask only that you think of me fondly from time to time, so that I do not go unremembered as well as unmourned.
Don't worry about the young man, dear. I'm sure his execution will be relatively quick and possibly painless.
Give the order and I'll take care of him, Commander.
I'll handle this. Energy capacitor out. Energy.
Let me know when you need it to stretch. Oh, no, what?
Vitals are in the red, Commander. You chose surveillance over science. Can't say I'm thrilled with your decision. At least the presiding bishop won't be either.
Agent. Just the individual I had designated this time to converse with. As should be self-evident, I have dispensed with the slavish whims of the body. My mind is clearer than it has ever been, and I have you to thank. Of course, the chances of a negative outcome were always negligible. I have learned of the event that took place at Auris Listening Post. You disobeyed me. Surveillance is rarely neutral. But if certain precautions against abuse can be put into place, yes, that has some merit. You have made a sufficiently compelling case and earned this payment. I will consult with the archive before attempting any corrections to the Hyperion Reticulum's course. There now remains only one problem left to solve for: Auntie Cleo. To ensure Arcadia's future, she must be removed from the equation. That was certainly not my intention. I know this is no small request, but it is deeply consequential. Cleo is the fulcrum about which the lever turns. In Auntie's direction, to Arcadia's ruin. In ours, to its success. As long as Cleo lives, she will choose war. She will choose self-centered individualism over plan-mandated cooperation and progress. She will choose wrong. Must we quibble over moral exactitude? The plan is right. Ipso facto, whatever advances the plan is also correct. You have come this far with the Order at no small cost. Do not go into a flat spin now. You have proven yourself reliable, but do not underestimate Cleo's cunning. There is a high probability she will try to bargain for her life, if given the chance. I cannot predict with sufficient accuracy what other dangers you might face inside her headquarters, but I would advise exercising your usual caution. And you will be. Go forth now, as determined by the plan.